you really follow this sequence, you can just take it out, guys. I'm sure on it, because I have seen a lot of people. I mean, this is not the very first time I'm taking the batch, right? Almost I have finished almost 80 to 90 batches. I have already finished batches. I'm working in Naresh IT since, I think it's been 8 years or 9 years. Okay. So since then I was working with the student. I have seen a lot of students, not just only from the CSE background or from the computer background, but people who are from the cross background also. I could able to train them, and they have done this. But among all this, when I say that a student who is from cross background, I could able to make him as a programmer, it is not my credits. The 80% of the credit goes to him. Only 20% I can just explain. On the top 80%, what are his things he has done? He has done the practice what I have asked for. He has done the assignments what I have asked for. He has done the practice. I mean, what do you say? He has kept the questions whenever he is having a blocker there. So I want everyone to do this, guys. It is really a very good opportunity. So be strong and be master in the programming. Okay, so we are going to explore a lot of things. It is the basics what we have started with. Later we are going to start with the control structures. We'll be looking into the logical programming, the bigger object oriented programming, server side programming. Hell lot of things we are going to explore. So among all this, the only few things, I'm not asking that you need to put some 60-20 hours of hard working here. Not needed. Minimally 3 to 2 hours of practice is more than enough for these technologies. Remaining all, it is recommended you go for other technology and learn some more things. Okay, so please make your mind so clear that here you are sitting here to get master into this, not just attending the classes. Okay, anyone, guys, any type of student, they can learn it and they can make it out. Okay, boost up yourself. And if you have any blocker, if you say that, boss, yeah, I'm doing everything what you are saying, still I'm not able to do, come to me, we'll sit, we'll talk, and we'll find out the solution for that. Am I clear? Everyone? Yeah. So try to understand this program, guys. What is the program I have asked for? So what I'm asking is, boss, you need to work with some student details. So earlier, yesterday, when I asked you, okay. Yesterday, when I asked you for, boss, you need to work with something called, find out multiplication of two numbers. So what was my requirement? My requirement is, boss, you need to take some two variables. You need to find out the multiplication and you need to return the result back to the user. Now, in order to do that, what you have done? You have taken two variables, say some f value or first value and second value. You have taken those variables. You have find out the multiplication. You have taken the result into one of the variable called as result variable. You have shown the result back to the user. That is what you have done. Yes. In the same way, now what I'm asking for you, I'm asking that, boss, you need to take the student details, like you need to take the name, you need to take the age, you need to take the gender, you need to take the subject of 3 marks. These are the details what you need to hard code. Now what you need to do, if you take the average and total also, then what is the use of writing the coding? Isn't it? Now I say, I want to find out the multiplication of two numbers. I say A1 is equal to say some 10. I say where A2 is equal to something called as 20. Now if I say result is equal to something called as 200, what is the use of writing this program? Yes or no? I should not hard code this guy. I need to say something called as A1 into A2. This is what I need to do, so that my application will be capable of calculating the mathematical operation dynamically. In the same way, now I want to work with the student details. What are the details I wanted? The very first thing what you need to understand is identify the variables. What all the variables you would wanted in order to take the values. I have to take the student name. I say something called as S name equal to something called say some Tina. Okay. And you already know, is this is the declaration or initialization? Line number 13 is the declaration or the initialization? Come on. Both initialization and declaration. Am I not declaring it? Yes. Am I not initializing it? Yes, it is. Earlier, what we have done, I used to say something called as S name. Okay. And later I used to say S name equal to something called as Raj. This is what we have. Now this line number 13 is equal to the declaration. Line number 14 is equal to the initialization. But now coming to the line number 16, initialization and declaration. So it's up to you, whatever the way you want to go with. Okay. Now, I am going to say, is it is mandatory that it should be S name, or can I say something called as var A, or A is equal to Raj? Can I do this? Yes, it is possible. Is it is recommended? Not recommended. Whenever you are giving the variable names, it is recommended to go with the self-descriptive variable names. Okay. Now, when I say A, I'm not sure like what is Raj? Is it a country name, street name, username, college name, office name? What is that? Now, when I say something called as S name, it just gives some extra information. It is a student name. In fact, you can even say that STUT and student name, something like this. So it is more descriptive. Okay. The maximum the descriptiveness you have to add whenever you're declaring the variable names. Don't think that boss, the space is going to be increased. When I say small a equal to so and so, it is taking one character. But when I say student name, it is taking too much of characters. Boss, the space is not going to get out from your pocket. Okay, the space is from the system and it's not going to eat too much of memory. Make it self-descriptive variable names, because whenever you're writing the program, it is not just you are going to work on that. It is when you go into the real time, and number of people, hundreds of people work on the same project. So when they look into these variables, they should not come back to you and ask you that, boss, why you have given this? Okay, the coding should be in such a way that you have written the code, someone else is coming, they could able to easily understand the code. When they come back to you and ask you the question that why you have written this, that is not a good programming. Am I clear? Yeah. So I would like to go with some student details here. So what I'm saying is, I say S name. I want to store the age also. I say S age. I want to store the gender also. I say S gender. Okay, like this. Now I say S name equal to say some Tina. I say S age is equal to say some 10. I say S gender is equal to something called as female. This is what the variables I have declared and I have initialized them. Any questions up to this? Everyone? Okay. Now I say I as per my requirement, I need to work with some 3 subject marks also. Now I say where M1 is equal to say some 90. I say where M2 is equal to say some 99, where M3 is equal to say some 78, something like this. Okay. Now these are the variables what you are hard coding. What do you mean by hard coding? What do you mean by hard coding? Taking the values directly. No, when I say something called as M1 equal to 90, is it possible to change? No, I have directly assigned that it is 90. In future, we will also see something called as dynamic values. We will ask the user that, boss, give me the value of the marks, give me the value of the name, give me the value of the gender. You will be asking the user. That is what we call it as dynamic values. Right now, you are hard coding. If a variable is being assigned with some static value, that is what we call it as hard coding values. Super fine. Now, after assigning these, after declaring them, after assigning them, now I need to calculate the total and average. Now, what I can say here, I say where total is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M3. One main thing what we need to understand, the coding guidelines, what we have is, whenever you're working with any of the operators, what do you mean by operators? Equal to, plus, minus, asterisk. Okay, so those all are called as operators. Whenever you're adding any type of operator on the page, it is recommended to put a space before and after. Recommended, not mandatory. If you say that, boss, what if I'm not going to put a space? Is it going to throw me an error? No, boss, it will work. But it is recommended as per the coding standards. Okay, whenever I'm using plus, whenever I'm using equal to, see here, wherever I'm using, I'm making it a self-descriptive, neat and clean type of coding, so that anyone looks into that, they will understand the code. Okay, now I have this total. Now I have say something called as where AVG is equal to total divided by 3. Any questions? Now when I save this guy, come back out here, open in the browser, inspect this. Nothing is happening. What is this application is doing? Why it is not showing any messages? Boss, we have written the piece of code in order to process the data. You haven't written any piece of code in order to show the result back to the user, isn't it? Then what I need to do here? I need to, again, do I need to go for alert or console? Recommended to go with the console, right? If it is alert, unnecessary pop-ups are coming. Now I say console dot log. I say something called as student details. Okay. I say console dot log. I say student name is plus S name. I say console dot log age is plus age. Why I'm using, it should be SH. Yeah, why I'm using plus operator here? We are not doing any arithmetic operation. Plus is not an arithmetic operation here, boss. It is just a separator between a string and a variable. Okay. In the same way, I say console dot log total is plus total. And I say average console dot log AVG is plus AVG. Any questions? Here, I have used the gender, but I'm not showing it. Does it make any problem? I am declaring a variable called as sgender, but I was never displaying it. It's up to me, boss. Isn't it? You're not declaring it, making use of it will throw an error. Now, if I say age, okay, forget about that. We'll talk about that. But when you're declaring it, you're not making use of it, it's up to you. When you're not declaring it, you're trying to making use of it, that is an error. Okay. You are so clear when and how the errors will be shown on the page. If it is JavaScript, in which tab it is going to show me the errors? Console tab. If you miss any type of syntactical or logical errors, it automatically shows the errors within the console itself. When I'm saving this guy, come back and reload this guy. When I'm reloading this guy, now it says that student details are name is so and so, age is so and so, total is so and so, average is so and so. Are we clear up to this? Everyone? Guys, any piece of question on this example, do let me know. Come on, go to each and every line, especially for the people who are new to the programming. Come on. So simple and straightforward. Okay, modular wise, I have declared one of the variables. I have assigned some values. I have assigned some marks. I am doing some processing of total and average. I am showing the result back to the user. No questions. Zero questions. Okay. Console.log is the output statement. That is what we discussed yesterday, right, Archita? Yesterday we discussed that, right? When I say console.log, that is what I can see the message within the console tab. Okay, Satish, from line number 25 to 21, can I make it on a single line? 25 to 21, 25 to 29. Yeah, it can be done, right? Okay, he's saying that, boss, you are writing multiple console.logs, right? Is it possible to write on a single line? Yes, I say console.log name is plus S name. I again put plus operator. Why so? Because again, this is a string, this is a variable. Separator is plus. Now this is a variable, this is a string. Obviously, plus separator has to come. Okay. I say age is plus S age. See here on a single line, I should be able to see the name and age. Yes. Like this, can you add the remaining all variables also? Yes, it's up to you. Hope I'm clear with the question, Satish. Okay. Lokesh, why you are putting before name, age, S? Can anyone tell me? He's saying that why you're putting S? It's up to me, Lokesh. I just want to say that it is a student name. You want to say some, your Lokesh, right? Put LS name. Fine. Okay, it's up to you. Anything you want, we can put it. Just it is indication that it's a student. That's it. Am I clear? Are we good? Can we go forward? Simple and straightforward, this example. Everyone. Write a program to work